will work on the investigation microphone connector on this stuff.
Let's see what I have. I have the HM219. Oh, no, that's right.
Okay, let's see. Should we go to... I enjoyed the remarks about surfing. That was very interesting. And also about that website,
Michael, it's correct.
For a nap, or maybe it'll turn into a power nap, which will be about 1 hour, and that'll get me good for tonight. So I'll probably catch you later. Give my regards to your dad and everybody, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah, that sounds good. One more thing before you go. I signed up for Social Security. God, I can't believe I'm that old now to sign up for Social Security. We'll turn 70 in March.
Juliet. Kilo 9, go ahead, then I'll pick up the QRP station. Kilo 9. Was it Kilo 9 Papa Zulu, QSL, Brandon? QSL, 5-8. All right, you're also 5-8 in the park. Kilo 2996. 6. Did you say QRP 2?
For Whiskey, Portable 9. The one with the Yankee, Oh, Victor Yankee 2, Alpha November. Victor Yankee 2, Alpha November. My pleasure. And wonderful to hear from you. Another beautiful place. And you are 5 and 8. Illinois. And my name is George. Over. Well, very fine, Ricardo, and you were 59 plus that time. Outstanding job, and my pleasure. Logbook of the world for QSLs, and it's worth 5 voter points. So Victor Yankee 2, Alpha November. This is Whiskey 1 AW, Portable 9. Well, you're very welcome, Ricardo. That's a loud signal for 50 watts. Easily 59 now. Very 73, and thank you for calling. VY2 Alpha November. This is Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9. Adios, Ricardo. CQ from Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey. Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9.
Whiskey 4, Romeo X-ray.
Okay, Whiskey Charlie 2, Yankee 59 plus, Illinois. You're very welcome. Nice job. And the one in the X-ray. Yeah, Whiskey Charlie 2, Yankee. Thank you very much. I always appreciate the being a voter station, and thank you for acknowledging that. Over. Well, thank you very much, and it's my pleasure. QSL via Logbook of the World. The one ending Yankee Zulu X-ray. Nice signal. Over. Excellent. Wow, New York City. That's great. And you're 59, and my name is George. I'm in Illinois. Over. Roger, Roger. The name is George, Golf Easy Ocean, Romeo Golf Easy, and I'm in northern Illinois. It's Echo November 61 Charlie Queen. Echo November 61 Charlie Queen. It's Palos Township, Illinois, and logbook of the world for QSLs, and it's worth 5 motor points. Over. Well, thanks very much, Charlie, and congratulations on the signal. And it's always appreciated to hear from New York City. Whiskey Bravo 2, Yankee, Zulu X-Ray. This is Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9.
A frequency check.
Okay, we're going to go with the Kilo Charlie 3 November India first here. Kilo Charlie 3 November India, you are at 24000. 24000, over.
Wow, okay, very good. I'm almost dead on there. I have an old SB101 that I've been adjusting. So thank you so much. I'm just about there. You're 10 over 9 here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This is Kilo Charlie 3 November India.
Well, very good, and congratulations there. I know that radio. I remember it well. Back in the 1960s, one of my friends had one. And of course, I always marveled at it because I only had CW equipment until I got a Swan 350. So there you go. Kilo Charlie 3, November, India, thank you for the call from Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9.
Roger, thank you. I've Portable 9. I've talked to a lot of you guys, the different portables. Anyway, thanks so much. You got a great signal here, and I'll let you guys go and just listen in. 73, KC3 and I is out.
Very good, and nice job on tuning up that old radio. QRZ, Whiskey 1 Alpha, Whiskey, Portable 9.
November 1, Mike Juliet Foxtrot.
Kilo Charlie 1, I think it's November Delta Quebec, 59 plus Illinois. Nice job, and I've been south of Boston, very nice area there, and QSL, the logbook of the world. My name is George, I'm in Illinois, over.
Very good, George. I will do that, and David Fran here, Foxtrot, Romeo, Alpha, November. Good job, and we'll thank you soon.
Very good, Fran, my pleasure, and Kilo Charlie 1, November Delta Quebec. You're in the log 73. Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9.
Kilo Alpha 3.
November 1, Mike Juliet Fox.
The Alpha 3, Yankee, India, Yankee, I believe.
Kilo Alpha 3, Yankee, India, Alpha.
I got it. Kilo Alpha 3, Yankee, India, Alpha, 59, Illinois.
You're 10 over into the state of Georgia. Beautiful signal.
Well, thank you from Georgia. My name is George. I'm in Illinois, and QSL, the logbook of the world, over.
Roger, 73. Thanks for the activation, and I'll catch you on Log of the World. Bye.
My pleasure. QRZ, Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9.
November 1, Mike Juliet Foxtrot.
Okay, the one with the Foxtrot, please wait. 3, Charlie X-Ray Golf, over. Roger, K3, Charlie X-Ray Golf, 59 plus, Illinois. My name is George. Nice job, Mike. Great audio. Really punched through there. And QSL, the logbook of the world. It's worth 5 motor points. Over. Oh. Well, very good. You dropped down a little bit there, Mike, but still outstanding for mobile. And when you called, you were just way over us time. So, Mike, thank you very much. And 73 from Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9. 73. There was another station calling. Please call.
November 1, Mike Juliet Foxtrot.
November 1, Mike Juliet Foxtrot, 59 Illinois.
Thank you, George. You are 59 here into the state of Rhode Island at Romeo, India. Very loud signal and beautiful audio on you. Back to you, W1AW/9 from N1MJF.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for Rhode Island, and great job. Once again, this is worth 5 bonus points, and let's see, and QSL will be a logbook of the world, and Barry 73 to you, thank you for calling from Rhode Island, over.
Best 73 to you and your family. Also, happy holidays to you as well. 73 from N1MJF.
That is really appreciated. We're trying our best here. So thank you at 73. This is Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9. CQ, Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Whiskey 1, Alpha Whiskey, Portable 9.
Hear people that you normally wouldn't hear, or they hear?
Victoria. Peter. Number 9. Hotel. Echo. Together. Kilo 4, Charlie Alpha Echo, you're 5-9, South Carolina.
All right, thank you very much. Kilo 4, Charlie Alpha Echo. I got you 5-9 into Minnesota, David.
Thank you very much. Have a great day today. 73.
73. QRZ.
Whiskey Zulu 5 X-ray.
4, Mike Echo X-ray.
Nothing heard. QRZ.
Whiskey Zulu 5 X-ray. WC5X.
Echo Juliet, go.
Japan Radio.
Whiskey Zulu 5 X-ray.
Whiskey Yankee 7.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm typing stuff in here. I think it's Whiskey Yankee 7, Japan Radio, Jack in Wyoming. I got you in is that correct? Hey, thanks for the 5-9, Jack. Thanks for your patience. I got you 5-7 into my park, QSL. Thank you, 73.
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Echo X-ray.
Kilo Bravo 5, Tango Victor Charlie, is that Bruce?
Negative. DC. Kilo Bravo 5, Tango Victor Charlie. Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're 5-9.
Could you do the call again?
Kilo Bravo 5, Tango Victor Charlie.
Kilo Bravo 5, Tango Victor Charlie, yeah?
QSL.
All right, I got you 5-7 into my park, Kilo 2471.
Roger, you're 5-9, Oklahoma.
Thank you for the 5-9, 73.
73.
QRZ?
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Echo X-ray.
Too many of you. I can't just call for one there. Spread them out a little bit.
Kilo Charlie.
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Echo X-ray.
I got a couple in there. Tango November Zulu. November 3, Tango November Zulu, is that right? All right, I think I got a 5-8. I'm going to give you a 5-5 into Minnesota. QSL? All right, 73. Was there a Kilo Oscar 4? Any Kilo Oscar 4?
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Echo X-ray.
Kilo Oscar 4 ending in X-ray?
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Echo X-ray, roger.
Kilo Oscar 4, Mike Echo X-ray, Forest?
QSL, you're 5-9 Eastern North Carolina.
Thank you for the 5-9 in North Carolina. I'm going to give you a 5-7 into Minnesota. And I'm going to ask everybody to stand by. We got more people here at the park there. Stand by, over. Okay, I'm back. CQ, November 0, Mike Alpha Oscar calling CQ for Parks on the Air, Kilo 2471 in Minnesota.
Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Quebec X-ray. 4 November Juliet Mike.
Charlie Quebec X-ray?
QSL, Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Quebec X-ray.
Kilo Charlie 1, Charlie Quebec X-ray, Mark in New Hampshire.
Kilo Charlie 9er, Kilo Charlie 9er, Charlie Quebec X-ray.
All right, Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Quebec X-ray, Eric in Indiana.
QSL.
All right, Eric, I got you about a 5-5 to my park, Kilo 2471.
QSL, please copy 5-7 Indiana, 5-7 India November.
Roger, 5-7 North Florida. Thanks for the 2 parks at 73.
73, another station ending Mike. Kilo Delta 8.
Bernardo. Es que está él también hablando. All right, 5-7, park to park, come now.
Whiskey 9, Romeo Whiskey Golf at Kilo 4189.
Radio Yankee. I copy. Juliet 3. There's the bottom one, and it tends to null the carrier out, I suppose, by putting more of the slug.
Oh, that's what they say. But my wife.
Thanks to 73.
You as well, thanks so much. N1 RIP calling CQ. Calling CQ. This is not a POTA activation. Calling CQ from Shelbyville, Kentucky. This is November 1, Romeo India.
A difference, and maybe they don't in some situations, but when it's a hard cop.
And my first day, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to close the border, and I'm going to...
Kilo India 5, Lima Delta Lima, mobile in Texas. Whiskey 4, Whiskey Sugar Baker. I'm sitting.
Maryland, I have you 43, 4 and 3, and to Kilo 62901.
5-9 plus into North Carolina. Thanks for being in the park. KE4ZUN.
NU4Y worked him, and he said that's as strong as he's heard Rod in quite a while. Let me turn it to Jim Bob. Jim Bob, you still there?
Yeah, I'm about ready to leave, though. Almost dinner time. NU4.
Dinner time? How come you didn't bring your Hummer in and let me wash it?
Well, it's pretty clean right now. I just needed you to do a wax coat, you know.
I see. Well, I waited on you and you didn't show up, so there you go.
Okay. You guys take care. I got to go. It's time for dinner almost, so I'm going to go have some sweet corn.
What are you going to have? Steak?
I believe I got pizza for tonight.
Oh boy, that's something I don't care for. That.
About sweet corn, man. This is enough to get me thinking about where I could buy some topsoil. I got a friend who will dig the trenches for me. See, when these peach trees went in, maybe you guys I didn't raise it quite cleverly enough, but we had 20 miles, and I'm not exaggerating. We had 20 miles of topsoil trenches in order to put the peach trees in, because again, the soil here is the soil is rough. So there was a big commercial building going up about 5 miles from here, and the owners of this orchard before I owned it.
Premi, ok, io torno os códigos. Sí me platicaste.
Oh, none of that stuff. Just cold. And every fall, I get a sore throat and get.
Ciao. Had the body of a shepherd.
United Yokohama. Whiskey Alpha 2 Victor United Yokohama. Kazu-san, 5859 5859 es Jersey. 5859 Kazu-san, avanti.
But when I get somebody that'll help me with. Qué bueno, no está bien, escuchándote bien, excelente, siempre ha llegado bien. Tu estación sale durísimo, tiene.
That is not a local 865 number, but it's identifying.
Bye-bye, Paul. Bye-bye, amigo.
DJs because it's more convenient to us, but I have mine set up to auto renew. It just automatically does it every year. But some people don't. Some people want to drive up.
Yeah, Roger. There's two. They're right next to each other. Two drive up. Looks like it's like
to go. I wound up. I went in the.
They go there, so I don't know.
I got 5 early, but there were 6.
Holy Jesus. You guys are hard on the old man.
That's a Car Express.
Victor Alpha 2 Alpha Charlie Oscar, KBA-LGO.
Un juego increíble. Le puse una mesita y mira cómo está saliendo Eliezer.
the tower. That's the only thing.
Todo el tiempo es invierno. Eso es para allá, para el sur, ¿no?
Gotcha, you're 5x5, 4x4, Kilo 2 Tango Mike uniform. Your call sounds familiar. 5x5 call.
Así que ningún problema, che. Lo bien que hace, vio, trabaje, que es lo que le hace falta. Pues él, como decía mi padre, ¿viste?
And depending upon how that one comes out, in fact, this whole room that I have my shack in is here in a corner of my log home. And I'm not going to say it's drafty in here, but it's cooler than the average room. And I've got a few other fans floating around in the eaves over the top of it. Not over the very close, but 4, 5, 6 feet, whatever it is up there, blowing air out of this room into the living room. And I kind of have I don't have a breeze blowing here, but I have a nice cool air circulation, and I think that helps a lot. Yeah, I know the heat situation is probably not optimal, and yes, I do run it in the cabinet. Got a few holes bored in here and there, but some of them were there before I ever owned it. And that's kind of the long and the short of it. It is what it is at this point anyway. That one I'm not going to do too much to. I may solid state the power supply. We'll get some more heat out, but the 3V28s they're nothing like what was in it before, as you're well aware. Back down to whoever gets it next.
KA3 PTX. Boy, that PTX guy's got a big signal. Good afternoon. Yeah, how you doing there, Clark? And Brett, and I don't know who the other station is. You guys can fill me in. Yep. Kilo Alpha 3, Papa Tango X-Ray here from Wilmington, Delaware, and it was Ed. Echo Delta. Transmitter is a K7 DIY Super Senior. And I will be a proud owner of a Max processor soon. I think it should be there Friday. I guess it still has your pulse line on the front panel there. And Rick Maxwell's quite the guy. I have a lot of communications with him lately. And the Brett, I guess you're on your new radio there. Sounds good. Well, I hear you on the air all the time. I think you're going to retire in a few weeks. Sounds like you're retired now. That's good. the air is good. Just keep an eye on things here. Yeah, so this Super Senior, I just got the, what do you call it, the Bruce Franklin modulation model, the kit thing here on it. The Bruce Franklin, what do you call it, audio processor in the base of D104 going into the front of the radio, that's it. But the Max processor, I have other plans for. So, let me send it over to Brett, or whoever gets it. This is 283 PTX.
Okay, we got Gary in there, KB1DXF. And the band doesn't seem to be in great shape. I probably should turn on a bigger rig, but I gotta go up and start making dinner, so probably be better off doing that. Yeah, this is the new SDR there, Ed, and alright on the Max. I got the Schlockwood, so I don't know that I got a reason to guess the Max, but I might. Anyway, on the Valiant side, can't you put like a muffin fan on top? I have on my amplifier that I have, or when I run the G76, I have two muffin fans, wire tied together with little fuzzy feet on them, and I wire them in series so they run half speed and they move a fair amount of air through the thing, and they'll keep a nice radio cool, and they don't make a lot of noise, just suck some of that heat out. And I guess what you want to do is solid state the power supply so you don't have all that filament power off the low voltage transformer, and the heat from the rectifiers, I guess, really helps a lot. Anyway, over to Gary, KB1DXF. I don't know if we're losing the band at this point, and DPN.
Well, you were just pounding in here, so we may be about to lose the band, or maybe it's a little different down by you, but up here in the sticks, you're loud. Everybody's loud, of course. BCG is always loud. But let's see, KA3 PTX. Everybody else knows you. I don't know you, but that's okay. I don't count for anything much. Name here is Gary, Golf Alpha, Romeo Yankee, and the location is the west coast of New Hampshire, along the Connecticut River in the Connecticut River Valley. Not exactly where you would pick as a ham location if you had, unlimited resources, but I'm here and this is what I've got. So yeah, I've got a little bit of air circulation going around it. It never gets I got a infrared gun that I hit it with the gun every once in a while to see just what things are for. I wear a jacket here in this room, and after I run it for a while, I don't have to wear the jacket anymore, so it's not too bad. I didn't really want to carve holes in it. The case is pretty nice for what it is, and the solid state move is probably going to happen sooner rather than later. I've already got all the goodies stocked up for the other one I've got coming, and I was going to work on that one first and see what that one like, get a few reports and see what everybody seems to think. But outside of that, you just keep it on. But I think your SDR sounds very good. It sounds like it might even be one of the better ones I've ever heard. As far as I think you said it was a Russian, or maybe it was a Russian design or something along those lines. That's interesting. I never had one with a hammer and sickle on it before. That'd be neat. Does it have a hammer and sickle on it? Just out of curiosity. On the next go around anyway. So, let's see. Brett had it. He gave it to me. I'm going to give it to Clark. Here it comes, Clark. The wind-up. The pitch. KB1 DXF.
Wow, Gary, you actually know how much that gets under my skin. Here she comes. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Be funny. All right, N1 BCG. How's that?
I couldn't resist.
You are the button pusher. 4. Exactly. Boy, all these people talking about maxes these days. You know, yeah.
Oh, I think they work pretty good.
Actually, Brett, you're the catalyst for all this. Remember that years ago? Telling me about the that filter, the receiver at the time, the receiver filter that you had gotten from Rick. Yep, that was right there at the genesis of all of this.
Yeah, well, it just you know, it was a need in the community, especially since before SDRs came out. You know, everybody was running broadcast transmitters, and there was no limiting of the audio going in, and you know, people would be 20, 30 kilohertz wide.
Be a 2G world. Wow, further proof you can run but not hide.
Hey Gordon, Mega Transmission. This is XK3 PTX. And I just heard Paul VJP, I talked to him at 40 meters the other day, and he was using the jacks, and I got talking to him. Yeah, I'm going to get one of these things. I'm going to give it a whirl. This is a fun wintertime project kit to work on. How you doing, Gordon?
Good. Give me your call again. I'm sorry, I had a glitch here on the receiver.
Yeah, Kilo Alpha 3 Papa Tango X-Ray X. We work 37 o'clock. I usually hang out 37 05, so it's unusual for me to be up this way, but very few good signals and I want to say hello.
Hello. Good to hear you, Ed. Of course, I remember. All right, Clark, how are you doing?
All the time.
Did you get my text?
I'll check with my secretary and I'll let you know.
Do you know what straight answer means? Have you ever heard that term, straight answer?
It's a term I have not heard before. Why?
All right, good to hear you. Good to hear you, Ed. Just came in here. I don't want to mess up the rhythm, but took my little nap here during this recovery and I feel a little better. So I turned on the radio since I'm playing major hooky here, Ed, for a few weeks.
I know you're in recovery mode.
Yeah, quite a big recovery. But everybody sounds good here. And that's it. Clark, I spilled all my stuff on 40. I have no more material.
I recorded it. If you want, I can just play it back in one, 30-minute transmission.
That was great, though. You were hysterical. George and I were waiting for you down here in case you would join us. We had a good talk.
Hey, I want everyone on frequency to hear. Did you hear I said that? George and I were waiting for you down here. I mean, in a friendlier time, they'd call out an ambush.
We were hoping that you would visit us, Clark. We were waiting for you. It's okay.
I don't walk down any unlit paths.
Ed, what are you up to these days?
Well, not too much. Just, hunkering down, playing some radio, tuning up the shack. Just picked up this magnetic receive antenna. Chinese thing I was going to play around with active loop, magnetic loop, and all that kind of stuff. So, so it's good. Yeah, you're recovering well there, Gordon, and it's good to hear you on the air a lot. So, get I guess your main band is an 80. That's the work that's pretty much what I do. And Clark, your signal is very strong. here into Wilmington, and nice to make your acquaintance there, Gary. KB1 DXF. Yeah, I don't think we've ever worked, so I got you in a logbook here. And I know you were talking about Valiant. So are you on a Valiant? I want to write that down in my logbook. I have a Valiant here too, with a muffin fan sitting on the top. Gary, you were using a Valiant transmitter?
Affirmative. Yes, it is. And nice to meet you as well, Ed. No, I don't think we have ever worked. I do not have an electronic log. I have a paper log, and I'll flip through the last 10 pages of it or so for the last 5, 6 years or whatever it is, and see if we've ever spoken before, but I don't recognize the call letters. But then again, I don't remember what I had for dinner last night either. So, good on you. K7DYY sounds good.
Hey, what loop did you get?
Let's see what this thing is. Oh, I just pulled it out of the box, and I'm just charging the lithium-ion battery that's in it. I don't even know what the name is. DESHIVO. That's the company. It's some Chinese company. It's an Amazon special. High performance active loop antenna. Great job. Just show you out some loops here in the past too. Anyway, that's what I got.
Well, I have the MFJ loop antenna. I have that set up in my backyard, right behind the shack, and it works really well. Only problem is I keep transmitting into it and blowing out the amplifier. So last time I bought 2 amplifiers. And I got to figure out how to integrate it into the station so it's only in the receive chain, and I can't select it and forget, and then transmit 100 watts into it.
I've seen that, when I was over your house, I was pretty sure you pointed that loop antenna out to me, and yeah, when you mentioned that that's an issue. Of course, they don't like be transmitted into, or being close to. The other loop antenna I got here is an ML Mike Lima Alpha -30 that I played around with. It's got a bigger loop, but it works pretty well too.
The MFJ works good because it's a giant, it's a real thick loom that's like a 1-inch conduit. And the wider they are, I think the better they work. It's very directional. Well, I just got to figure out. Well, I got to figure out how to not transmit it into it. And I got to get a rotor for it so you can kind of peak signals or null noises. Right now I have it turned so it's nulling the noise of solar panels on the neighbor's house. It's very effective at that.
Yeah, I don't have a rotor on that one I was playing around with. I have it on a mast with a bearing, and I have to, just go and relay. But anyway, it's all good.
That's remarkable. I'm using a loop antenna also.
What kind?
Well, this isn't as fancy as the ones you guys are talking about. It's a BCG 80-160, meaning that it's a concocted thing which is made of 2 wooden yardsticks. Hey, how easy it is to find those anymore. Configured in a evangelical cross with 3 turns of wire looped around push pins at the ends of the what a rinky-dink, huh? 3 turns of hookup wire wrapped around the push pins on the ends of those things, and tuned with a varactor diode, which is then powered through the coax from a 9-volt battery at the rig interface. So yes, that's my low noise receive antenna.
How well does it work?
Well, actually, it works really well. The varactor diode, which I think was the magic part of it, allows peaking remotely, and that's a what is it? I don't remember the number of it, but it's meant for it's normally used in like a broadcast band AM receiver that uses a potentiometer for tuning as opposed to a capacitor of a regular variable capacitor. So it's got a very good range, something like 30 to 400 picofarad range. So it's definitely good for tuning both the 80 and 160 meter bands.
An active loop antenna, Clark, or passive?
That way with a bare active diode. They're pretty cool. But where is the loop antenna? Is it inside or outside?
Two questions. It's not active. I don't have any.
You are testing 1 2, testing 1 2. This is without any transmit power.
So it's got plenty of gain, so that helps. And the antenna is inside.
Oh, cool. You find it's real directional?
It's the nulls are directional. The peaks, the loop, technically the peaks in gain are not, but the nulls are good. So, like you were saying, you have your loop antenna for nulling out noise. That's a great use for a loop antenna. For peaking, it's like it has great reception over, let's say, like 340 degrees of an arc, which is pretty much good for everybody.
Yeah, mine works really well. I'm surprised. I'm shocked.
Some of those transmit loops can get pretty pricey. I think DX Engineering has one for like $3,000.
Yeah, you can make one for a lot less than that. I mean, that's one of the nice things about ham radio, especially from the antennas.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. This is testing the live audio stream. 1 2. 0 watts being outputted during this. No transmission made.
And just like anything from hookup wire, like in my case, I go through a lot of hookup wire, to just copper tubing, or even what is that stuff called? The conduit that you can get at the hardware stores for electrical conduit and fittings and everything. So, but you can make that antenna. In fact, Ted, what's his name, QAR, made a transmitting loop out of copper pipe, and it works quite well.
I think the DX Engineering one that I was thinking of has like a motor or something, and it changes the diameter of the loop and everything too. It's pretty cool. But anyway, the other experience I had with the loop antenna, the few times I tried to get on, make sure I got it. Times I tried to get on 160 or make 160 work on a postage stamp lot here was a sloper antenna for transmit, but it really sucked for receive. Terrible noise and all that, so I built a loop antenna for 160 to get that the loop thing. So I had that as the receive antenna, which worked really good, and I could null out noise and stuff, and then I would transmit on the sloper. But it was kind of a PIA thing, it's a transmit antenna and a receive antenna.
Yeah, but that sounds like a great configuration, having separate antennas for that. You just, obviously just need a relay to I mean, do you have a separate transmitter and receiver, or are they combined as a transceiver?
No, using this the DYY on 160s was transmitting the DYY, and then just one of my other receivers.
That's the thing. How did that work? Because I know that the DYY transmitters are very particular to reflective power. You've probably seen that. The sum of the things that can trip it off. So you've got SWR, output power, and modulation percentage. And if you sum those all up, they have to add up to less than a certain number, or else it does trip off. But hey, yeah, the loop antennas are very narrow. So to help prevent trip-offs, it would be great to restrict the bandwidth. I've talked to Bruce Franklin, K7DYY, about, making it a little bit more obvious, when the transmitter goes off, because a friend of mine has one of those. It's just like when it trips off, it just stops transmitting. But there's, you have to look at the display in order to know that it's not off. I said, You should put like a piezo buzzer in there or something, you know, like, because someone's going to do like an old buzzard and they won't be transmitting anymore, and at the end of the old buzzard, when they unkey, people will be like off into another topic and they'll wonder what's going on. But if it trips off, you know, in addition to the display saying something, you know, maybe a piezo buzzer inside, you know, basically to say you're in transmit mode but there's no RF out. I just think that would be handy. And one BCG.
That's why they should have a modulation monitor, because the modulation monitor has a option that you can turn on that goes beep beep if you lose carrier while transmitting.
I only operate on certain frequencies, and it's all coax fed stuff, resonant, like keep an eye on the tuner and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, you would think that'd be a very simple thing to add, Clark, to the Super Cena, but for whatever reason it's not in there.
Well, okay, so my other K7DYY wish list is a negative peak indicator. That too would be extremely easy to add to the circuit. And what else? There was something else which I can't remember, but I'll think of it the moment I unkey. And hello, Steve.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, guys should just get a mod monitor. You know, all that stuff is there, and you can tell what your modulation is actually doing. And the mod monitor has a feature that if you lose carrier while you're transmitting, you can turn it on or off. It goes beep beep, and it lets you know that you lost your carrier and you went off the air. Yes, very useful. Anyway, how you all doing? Haven't been listening in too long, but I did hear that. Yeah, well, the DYY rig is a little light in features, but that's because it was designed to be inexpensive to manufacture, not of very high quality. Anyway, hope you guys, everybody on frequency is doing well. I'm not sure actually who all is here. I didn't take an inventory of the frequency. Just heard some random people chatting back and forth. I did notice Gordon was in here. I did hear Gordon come in, but I was sort of in and out of the room. So anyway, that's that on that. Man, I'm telling you, this winter weather is already getting me down. It's not even winter yet, officially. But the sojourn to Florida is a mere 3 weeks away.
You did hear Gordon, but he doesn't participate on frequencies. He's more like he haunts them. He'll come in, do his thing, and then like some kind of a specter just disappear. All right, Gordon, that's your cue to key up.
No, it's not true. It's just a medical situation, and I have to go lie down again. There's only a certain amount of time I can sit up. I told you that.
Well, that brings us back to the 40-meter conversation where you opt from your bed. How about that?
Okay, I'll definitely see if I can work that out. Hi, Steve. Good to hear you. I was talking to Bob a little while ago, and he said you might come down there at some point. So he was having a rough day, but I was excited to hear that you might visit him.
Yeah. When I go to Florida after I have to get my son and my daughter-in-law and my granddaughter settled here because they're moving in for the winter. They're going to feel like they moved to the Taj Mahal as compared to the cramped space they're in. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to go down to Florida, and I'm going to stay over at Bob's house one night and help him fire up his transmitter for the first time. And then I'm going to stay. Where am I going to stay next? I guess I'm going to stay with my son in Pennsylvania another night. And then I'm going to stay somewhere in the Carolinas. I'm not sure where yet, or Tennessee. Got a few options there, and then the final leg will be from there to Florida. So that's the big trip. Just got to keep an eye on the weather. But yeah, definitely the first leg is to go to Bob's and see Bob, and to get that transmitter that he built, fully tested out and on the air.
Yeah, the RF deck and the Power supplier done. Modulator's 85% done. Yeah, he's excited to fire it up with you. Good, I'm glad you'll visit him. Actually, he's feeling okay. It's just the weight is dropping again. So, check it out. Good wishes to him. He said he might be listening. Anyway, guys, I'll be listening a little bit on the side here. Hello to Gary and Ed and everyone else. And have fun, guys. We'll be listening in here. And Steve, we'll have to get together, too, at some point. Maybe up there, or I'll be able to drive and do all that stuff, you know, and go around probably in mid-January, so it'll be good to see you at some point. Maybe down in Florida. Some stuff to do in Clearwater, actually, which isn't too far from you.
Oh, Clearwater. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to be in Venice, Florida, which is on the West Coast, but I don't know where Clearwater is.
Yeah, it's on the West Coast. It's not far from... It's in that Tampa region.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's not terrible. Not at all. I've certainly driven from Venice to Tampa. Matter of fact, last year I went up with a group and we saw a play up there. Can't remember what the play was, which means it wasn't very noteworthy, but definitely did that. So certainly a doable ride.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, sorry if I missed anybody. We'll be listening for a little bit. W2GOR.
Boy, Gordon, you'd be perfect as a volunteer monitor, and you're already listening to the right frequency. Marinate in that. All right. You want BCG just to fill that awkward silence?
Oh, Charlie, and who's the station? I heard somebody saying on XZW, somebody was on the west coast of New Hampshire near the Vermont border, but I don't know who that was or whether that station, that gentleman is still in here.
Steve, it's Gary, KB1 Delta X-Ray Foxtrot. Yeah, the west coast of New Hampshire.
Oh, very good. Well, I'm in central New Hampshire here in the Lakes region. Yeah, good to hear you. Excellent signal over here. What are you running for a transmitter? It says Valiant, but looking at the audio spectrum here, it does not look like a Valiant modulation characteristic.
You're absolutely correct, but it is a Valiant, believe it or not. I don't want to get into this again, but I've been messing around with it.
Okay, what do you have, like a DSP audio filter in front of it or something? The audio, it sounds more like a 7300 than a Valiant.
Ooh, that's a little discouraging. I do have a little bit of a box here that I'm feeding, but nothing serious. But 7300, I may have to go back to the drawing board or find out what's going bad. I'm glad you said something. Thank you.
Well, the audio is very clean, but it's total communications quality. There's no lows below, I don't know, some frequency, 150 cycles or something like that, and there's no highs above 3,000. So it's right there where it belongs in the communications quality range, if that's what you're looking to achieve. And the sound really does resemble very closely an ICOM 7300, which produces a very good quality, communications quality AM signal.
Well, I had hoped for a little better than that, and I thought I had it working a little bit better than that. But apparently, something is off. Okay. Well, I'll take a look into that and see if I can make it a little bit wider, a little better. May have something cooking in there. We were talking about the heat from this puppy, and I didn't want to cut holes in the cabinet and everything else, and that may have affected my my chain a little bit. We'll have to see. Thank you for mentioning it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be critical or anything. It just doesn't sound anything like a Valiant, but that's all right. It doesn't have to sound like a Valiant. Anyway, I'm going to do a little work on something here. I'm trying to configure a different speaker system here in the shack for the shack audio system. All my 3.5 weeks to go before, departing to Florida. I may or may not bring this speaker with me down there. Space is at a premium in the car going down there. I've got a Subaru Forester. It's a decent sized car, but it's a car. It's a I put the back seats down, and it's pretty high. I can get a lot of stuff in there, but I always bring a lot of stuff because I go for 4 months. So, I'm bringing my piano keyboard with me, which is a full 88 key Yamaha. Nice keyboard. Really has a good feel to it, since I don't have room for a real piano anymore. Do you know I had a concert grand piano? I had a 9-foot grand piano in my old ham shack in Townsend. That's how big that ham shack was. The room was 28 feet by 28 feet, and I had a 9-foot grand piano in there.
Hey, Steve, how's this station sounding up your way? This is KA3 PTX. You're booming in here to Wilmington, Delaware, and your audio is filling the shack here. Coming out of the high fidelity speaker and the SP600 diode out.
Yeah, you're sounding real good. I didn't quite get your call sign. You went into a little fade. Who's that?
Yeah, it's Kilo Alpha 3 Papa Tango X-Ray. Handle is Ed Echo Delta. I just jumped in here a little while ago when I heard Clark and Brett and Gary and anyway, I'm just kind of been on the side here, but when you broke in, I said, whoa! Now there's a nice neighborhood signal, and very strong here into Wilmington, Delaware. Wow, what do you do with that big piano? Just sell that thing, or I guess you got to pay movers and all that kind of stuff to get rid of a big piano.
Oh, it was a wonderful piano. I actually I left it when I sold the house. The people that bought the house after me wanted it, so I let them keep it. The thing is, those concert grands are great, but they're big, and so few people have room in their house anymore. And the electric pianos, they sound so good. I mean, they don't sound as good as that acoustic piano. Nothing's going to sound that good. That was a really good piano. It had very, very good tone. But they sound pretty good. And this Yamaha, if I put headphones on, the thing's amazing. And I've got it hooked up to really decent speakers and a decent amplifier and all that. So when I play it, it's got a good sound. But it's just not the same as like a concert. A 9-foot piano there, Ed. Yeah, you're coming in quite well up here from Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, we've talked before, but it's been quite a long time. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet. I don't want to hijack this very nice conversation in here. But you're doing great. Let's see, according to my logbook, last time we talked, which who knows how long ago that was, you were running a K7DYY rig, and maybe you're still running that. Anyway, the audio sounds good, the signal's excellent. Everybody's coming in great. Gary is super strong here. He's like 40 over from West Chesterfield, New Hampshire, which is not that far away from here on Mirror Lake, New Hampshire, which is just... it's on the Wolfboro. I'm right on the Wolfboro line. Wolfboro, Tuftonboro line. Literally, I paddleboard over to Wolfboro all the time on the lake. So it's not that far away. It's maybe, I don't know how far am I paddleboarding on the lake, maybe a mile before I get into Wolfboro. So anyway, it's sounding good and the signal's excellent. I'm gonna work on this configuration for this the speaker I want to configure, and we'll be listening here. I have alternative speakers available. So I'll throw it back to you there, Ed, and you can pass it around. There's all kinds of folks here. KA3PTX and the fine group here, WA1 Queen Item X-ray. Well, where'd he go? Went somewhere, or the DYY rig overloaded, one or the other.
Gary, not to be a contrarian, but if my Valiant sounded like your Valiant with a D104, I'd be also.
Well, I value Steve's opinion. And, you know, he's like a national treasure. When somebody says something, I listen. Now, I may not be able to do anything about it, but I'll try. Or I'll take a look-see, or I'll do something. I'll take 47 screws out of the back of the puppy and the big ones too, and sling them over my shoulder, and I'll spin it around on the bench. I think I'm going to wait till I get the other one though. That's right, I got a rice box here. It's not a 7300 though. But, well, you know, if somebody says something that's worth taking a look at, maybe I can find something. Or maybe I'll just leave it the way it is in the end. But it does sound, I've been told repeatedly that it doesn't sound like a Valiant. And some of them I've heard, I'm glad that it doesn't sound like a Valiant. All right. Somebody else, say something. I don't care who it is. I'll send it back. No. N1BCG, KB1, DXF. I did better that time.
Wow, it's like a hot potato. Maybe I'll just throw it up and see who gets it. That would be you, lurkers, skulkers, sandbaggers, people who have been sponging off the entertainment of this frequency at your own risk recently, by the way. So you say you never get a chance to get in on the QSO. Guess what? Your ship has just pulled into port, and time for you to light it up and make it happen.
Okay, Clark, I got a question for you. Charlie, I haven't heard from Charlie in a while. I'll throw it right to Charlie, but I got to ask the frequency a question here. Hang on. So Clark used the phrase sandbagging. So that's an interesting phrase because it has multiple meanings. For instance, if you play in a pickleball tournament, or maybe any tournament, but definitely a pickleball tournament, below your level, so say I'm a level 3.5, which is a pretty good player, and I compete in a tournament and I say I'm a 3.0, which is a lower level, that's called sandbagging. If you play below your level in a tournament. But then again, sitting back and listening to a conversation on the radio without speaking is also called sandbagging. And I do not know from where that one comes from. I can see, I don't even really know where it comes from with respect to playing in tournaments at a lower level, sandbagging, unless it means you're putting up additional fortifications against something. You know, it's possible. It could mean that. The etymology of the word sandbagging in that context is unknown to me, though. I have to look it up. Anyway, Mr. Charlie might know. So, N1XZW. This is WA1 Queen Item X-ray, and I am going to go work on this speaker.
WA1QIX, N1XZW. Well, sandbagging in my vocabulary means you live on the low-lying area on the coast of Florida, and it's a Category 5 heading for the coast. And you're out there with the big pile of sand, stuffing it in bags, and fortifying your property. That's sandbagging. But I don't know. That's just me. Anyway, good evening, everybody.
Charlie.
Not evening yet. Good late afternoon, everybody. Been listening for a while. Quite a while, in fact. I came downstairs from sitting in front of the camera watching Bambi and her friends. I had like 4 deer. I had 4 deer wandering around on my back lawn, nibbling on the grass and cleaning up the bird seed that fell from the bird feeders, and licking the deer lick that I've got out there, and kind of cool. I got a night vision camera pointed right below the bird feeders, so when they come up, that's the first place they hit. Every night after supper, I cut an apple in four. I cut it into 4 slices, and I put it out on top of the deer lick, and the first deer there gets to have an apple. It would get pricey to give them all an apple, because apples ain't cheap. But it's fun to watch them. And they grab the apple, they munch on it and swallow it. It's gone. Anyway. Oh, back up to you there, Gary. KB1 DXF N1. I almost did it. KB1 DXF N1XZW.
Go ahead, Ed.
So I didn't hear Charlie. I guess I maybe a double within there. So anyway, just saying there, 7-3. I'm gonna be listening. Good catching up with you guys. Plus the band seems to get a little bit weird too. But anyway, Steve, have a good trip to down south there. Good talking to you after it's been a while. KM3 PCX on the side, listening. And I was just wondering if Frank's still in there, entering PTS.
Alrighty, Ed. Nice meeting you, by the way. And your signal's holding up here in, we'll call it the west coast of New Hampshire. And that'll differentiate me a little bit, well, on more than one level from Steve. I'm headed for Florida shortly as well, Steve, but I'm not going to be down there for as long as you are. I'll be up and down probably a few times, but got boat stuff going on. That means I got to work on it. But be that as it may, let's see. Who haven't we heard from a while here? Hey, whatever happened to Brett? Did he go somewhere else, or is he still here? Let's give him a shot. See what's going on here. N2 DTS. Make a transmission. Well, I guess that told me. Let's see. Steve's on the side, Ed's on the side. I'm going to do a little bookwork here. This is getting to be like a chore. Gordon, are you still around? 22GOR, KB1, DXF.
Now he's in bed under the electric blanket listening to us with that transistor under his pillow.
That's funny. I remember doing that exact same thing, although I didn't have an electric blanket. All right, at least you're conscious, Clark. What's going on? Come on. You guys had me on the edge of my seat listening about these loops everybody's playing with. I think the main, I was going to say, but you mentioned it in passing, that did you ever see the loop that Ted made? Did you actually ever physically see that monstrosity? That was impressive. That was a QAR special, that's for sure. That thing was big. BCG, DXF.
All right, so first I need to comment on your comment about, well, at least you, what was it, quote, at least you're conscious? That's like saying at least you have a pulse. Wow, the low bar here on this frequency, right? I mean, you go any lower than that, we'd need a Ouija board to call CQ. Holy crap there, Gary. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, actually. Can you imagine that? Ouija Simulator 2.0, you can download it and contact silent keys. All right, we're off on the wrong tangent. So, did I see Ted's loop antenna? No, not in person. He and I talked about it a lot, and I was very interested in his development of it. So, I keenly listened to as he described his various iterations of it. Up at Stowe Airport, or no, Minuteman Airport in Stowe, Vermont, is that right? There's a great cafe there, Nancy's Airfield Cafe. I took I took my girlfriend of a jillion years ago, who was also a pilot, to Valentine's night at Nancy's, which stayed open on. All right, I'm getting off on a tangent here, but anyway, it's a wonderful country airport, but he's not there anymore. But no, that was the last time that I heard all about Ted's antenna. But yeah, it was. I'm sure it was pretty impressive. What is he down in New Bedford now? I'm trying to. Trying to keep up with the Kardashians. And one BCG.
Yeah, he is in New Bedford, where he has a high noise level. But, and I don't know, just exactly what his situation is there now. But if you've ever driven through New Bedford, you can see why there's a high noise level. There is the rattiest wiring on poles that I've ever seen in my life, mixed in with huge service. And it's kind of unbelievable to see. They've got this rat's nest down towards your regular pole level, and then they've got these giant, they must be steel, I presume, other poles with the heavy service that runs down to all the freezers and the fish handling area. And if you're in the wrong place there, and I think he's right along the river, or very close to it. He told me exactly where it was, and I was going to drop in and see him, and it never happened. But one of these days, I'll darken his door down there. Ted's a good egg. I like Ted. Let me think. Yeah, he did have it at the airport, and I knew that you flew, so I thought that maybe you might have visited and seen it or something like that. But I was toying with the idea of it at the time, but then, there certainly isn't airport space around this hacienda. And I don't have a lot of noise. And I didn't think that it would be a big advantage, and it would probably just get crushed by a 100-foot oak tree. But, yeah, I lost my train of thought. I hate it when that happens. God, age is a terrible thing to waste. But anyway, he had the last, or one of the last, and I don't know if it was the last, but it was after he'd been messing around with them for quite a while. He had one made out of copper drain pipe, and if this thing wasn't 15 feet in diameter, I don't think it was an inch. It looked like, of course, it was up on the roof on the hangar there where he was. But from what I could see of it, it was impressive. And when I say copper drain pipe, I don't know what the diameter of that stuff was. It must have been 4 to 5, and it couldn't have been 5 inches. Nothing in America is 5 inches. But it was big, and I swear you could have stuffed your fist in it. It was impressive. It was impressive as heck. Back to you.
KC21ZY, hello radio.
All right, there was a braking station. Who's that?
Hello, Clark. It's Dan. KC2MZY. Good evening, fellas. Seems like the signal just dropped out all of a sudden, but alright, don't take a standby. I'm here listening to the conversation. Tango Charlie 2, Mike Zulu Yankee.
All right, Dan. Good to hear you. Have a fine business time hanging out. How's that?
Oh well, certainly. And off to the copper kettle we go. So when are you? Well, maybe not to throw you into the conversation, but I was wondering, when are you going to make a pilgrimage, guys?
Wow, I didn't catch that last one. Once again.
Yeah, all right. Let me take a standby. I did hear you, but now I'm losing you, so you definitely probably can't. Listen for a few minutes, see if he comes back around. KC2MZY.
Yeah, so here's what I've got going on here. Despite the loop antenna, there's this roving band of rogue, nasty noises. It sound like that slowly drift up and down the band. And when they land on this frequency, it creates chaos. And that's exactly what's going on now, unfortunately.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
And all of a sudden it just
Oh yeah, you're well over it, but it's
talking about antennas.
yeah, it's just I don't know what it is, but if I ever find it,
Just lazy. Haven't gotten out there yet, but
actually, Gary, key up and make another transmission. I'm going to try to tune off to the side, but still be able to hear you, so I can try to get away from this.
Okay. I believe you and MCY doubled, but I heard you say something about say something because you wanted to tune somewhere because you were experiencing some type of QRM, some kind of a buzzing. I hate it when that happens. Don't have to put up with it much up here. Okay. Hopefully you've got everything twisted that needs to be twisted. BCG, KB1, DXF.
Yeah, because that noise seems to be right on 3873, so I want to tune off slightly off to the side because, no, I don't have an SDR. Okay, let's get that question out of the way right up front. And then I found out that there's some coming from some incomplete mode transmissions on the lower side, so I avoided that. But yes, I'm hearing you now.
KC2MZY, was that you just a moment ago when Clark was extolling the virtues of tuning off to the side?
that's a negative. I did double with him, I think, a couple of minutes prior to that, but no, I was listening in. It's very odd. I usually hear Clark really good. It seems like there's something out there tonight. So maybe them loop antennas would be a good idea.
Okay, who was it that wanted in? You're more than welcome. It's not like we have a high bar here. Anybody, anywhere, anytime. Go for it.
Wow, you just gave me an idea for my next business venture. Yes, a bar. I'm going to call it the Low Bar. Everyone's invited.
Whiskey 2 Echo, November Yankee. What's happening, you cool guys?
Wow, good times.
Yeah, just getting back from the Berg, man. A lot of hours in the car, Monday and today. I got myself in a nice cold 30-pack of Iron City Light. Yeah, we got iron and slag to go.
Did he say iron and slag?
Yeah, he just came back from Pittsburgh, I believe. They got lots of both.
3 or 4 of those? Yeah, iron and slag.
Oh, wow. That's wild. I sell slag.
Oh, I got these from the Berg, man. So it's legit. And when I lived out there, I remember I started having some of this stuff. Man, it was like what asparagus does, but with beer.
What, you mean if you've got the right enzyme?
Yeah. I'm just saying, the first time I ever had Iron City Light, it was like, I don't know, it was a different color.
All right, you folks, that damn noise has invaded this frequency. It's now centered on 3875 or 3873, so I gotta jump, but I'll catch you cool cats next time. Have the finest business evening ever, and one BCG.
Yeah, it's like good times, Clark.
Hey, why don't you just use a crutch?
A crutch?
Yeah, you know, like K3 FEF or something, like for the RX of DX.
There is no computer access around here.
Oh no! What do you still have a flip phone?
No, I spend all day, and I truly mean all day, staring at computer screens. So the one room in the house that is not, network connected is this one, and it's like my chance to get away from the internet. So that's why the opportunities are limited. Yes, I would just have to take it on the chin and suck it up, Buttercup.
Emails tonight and stuff. Hey, you know, not for nothing. What was it, Jim? Was Illa Chino, I think the name of the place was, in Murraysville. And, man, I've been thinking about this for 2 weeks, ever since I heard we were going out there. And, man, they have these banana peppers. They're big. They're like, I don't know, like 2.5 inches around at the top. And they go for about 8 inches long. Man, they stuff them full of sausage. And they stick them in the oven.
WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and R for rotundus. WA1H and YLR, Henry YLR, calling CQ and listening. CQ calling CQ, CQ75. CQ75, CQ75, calling CQ75. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and R rotundus. WA1H, YLR, Henry YLR, calling CQ. CQ75, CQ75, calling CQ. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H and YLR, Henry YLR, calling CQ and listening. Is this somebody calling me? I guess not. CQ calling CQ, CQ75. CQ75, CQ75, calling CQ. CQ WA1H, Yell R. WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and R for rotundus. WA1H and Yellow calling CQ. CQ calling CQ75. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H and Yell R, Henry Yell R, CQ and listen. CQ75, CQ75. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H, horrendous, Aloysius, and R for rotundus. WA1H and Yell R, Henry Yell R, calling CQ. CQ75, CQ75, calling CQ75. CQ from WA1H, Yell R. WA1H and Yell R, Henry Yell R, calling CQ and listening.
All right, Jerry, very good. Definitely go get the eats or the middles or whatever you call it. I call it grub. All right, very well. And Steve is back. And the name was Delta Alpha November, but it's close. I'd still answer anyway. So go enjoy that food and the listening, and we'll catch you next time. This is KC2MZY. And Steve, over to you, because I don't write nothing down. I can't remember your call.
Okay, I didn't catch that call. I think I put it in wrong. Good evening to you. Gary, are you still there? KB1DXF, are you still there?
I am now, after a sprint down the hall and stomping on the wah-wah pedal.
Hey, sorry about that. You want me to hold on?
No problem at all. No problem at all. It's just that I just got the call for chow. Time to tie on the feed bag. So I was not going to push my luck with it. Oh boy. That must be a lot better now. I was just going to tie the feed bag on for a few, Gordon. I'll be back shortly.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy your dinner. Sounds good, yeah. I got an extension cord for my mic. And I created an extension cord for my RCA male and female for the PTT, and I'm laying here horizontal. And when you're laying on your back, your voice gets deeper and you speak very mellow. Now you guys are in trouble because I'm going to make a long buzzer transmissions. I could even fall asleep and just be like snoring with a carrier for 2 hours. Anyway, just came back on here for a minute to see if these wires work. Yeah, recuperating slowly but surely. Enjoy your dinner, Gary. I tried to raise the other station there, but I don't think you could hear me. Have a good dinner.
Good on you, Gordon. Talk to you soon.
About that, Gordon. A little bit of QRM there. I thought it was Steve came back. Since you laying down horizontally. Yes, your voice did change a little. KC2MZY, don't know if I'm making it back to you. Back over to you, W2GOR.
Yeah, can you give me the call phonetically, KC2MZY?
Sure, no problem. We've spoke before. It's been a little while. Kilo Charlie 2 Mike Zulu Yankee. And the name was Delta Alpha November.
Of course, Dan. Yeah, there's some, sorry about that. There is that weird noise on here. And there's some sideband. And everyone's starting to fade out a little bit. There's something with the propagation tonight. So I have you on K3FEF on my left ear. And my local receiver in the room here. The only thing is I have to get a speaker closer to the bed so I can use this thing. But anyway, that's why I couldn't copy your call. And I have the noise reduction on. And it's a little bit fuzzy. It makes everybody very bassy. So, of course, I remember our conversations. How have you been? And what's cooking? Are you hearing me okay up there? I'm giving you a lot of modulation, over.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I hear you very well. Heard you, Jerry good. Clark started out good, but it went to hell, for a lack of a better term. And, yeah, there's just some funny noises and stuff out there tonight, so I don't know what the hell's going on. But I figured I'd give it a quick shot, and it's been a while. How are you doing? Recovering? What's going on? Back over to you. KC2MZY.
Okay, very good. And I see some strong signals up there on 3885. This is W2GOR for ID. I had a seemingly unimportant umbilical hernia for a couple of years, and a couple of doctors said, yeah, don't worry, it's popping out a little bit, but, deal with it when you can. And I had some delays. But on November 6th, it strangulated the small intestine. So I didn't know that for 12 hours my small intestine had absolutely no circulation, so it died. And then at 7 p.m., after a little meal, I was on the floor screaming for any kind of painkiller. So the ambulance took me in, and they mobilized, not 7 p.m., it was like 9 or 10 p.m. by that point. I think I ate at 7. That was a big mistake. So they rushed me in, and trauma surgeons came in and really went frantically quick, because they said I had 30 minutes to live. Yeah, 30 minutes. So they had to get in there because it was spreading. So they took some of it out, 4.5 hours of surgery, and then they did a hernia operation right after that at the end of the big operation. Stapled me up, and so it's been about a month now. I was in the ICU about 8 days, and it was a little tough, but couldn't drink any water for 8 days or eat anything. That was rough. But I lost a lot of weight, which was good. And now I'm here recuperating. It's just taking longer than I'd like it to, but I have to be patient. I'm starting to sit up and stand up straight. I just had the staples taken out, which is great. And 6 more weeks, maybe 5 more weeks, I'll be able to walk around and stuff like that. So if you ever have a hernia, don't let anybody tell you to put it off.
Holy mackerel. Yeah, I am definitely going to take your advice. I've had some issues and problems over the years, and a couple surgeries here and there, but nothing that was that drastic. They've cut me open and said, hey, that's not cancer, and put me back together. So in some situations. But, oh, wow, Gordon. Well, we'll wish you the best. God be with you. And hope for a speedy recovery there. Good to hear you on the air, even though I don't get on that much. But, yeah.
All right, did you pass it back to me? I don't know if you're still receiving or not receiving or transmitting there. I lost you there. But Dan, good to hear you. Thanks for your good wishes. Yeah, it could be a lot worse, so we're happy. And on the road to recovery for sure. Good signal here. It's just the band got weird. And the audio sounds nice. I don't know what you're using there. I'll stand by for you. KC2's MZY W2GOR. Well, I did hear a carrier there, so maybe that's you, Dan, restarting everything. All right, this is W2 Good Old Radio, W2GOR standing by for KC2 MZY. We'll be monitoring here.
Gordon, are you still there? Had a little computer blip there and lost everything. Just got fired back up here. Kilo Charlie 2, Mike Zulu Yankee. Sorry about that, if you're still there.
I'm still here. Your signal's way up. May I make an audio suggestion?
Yes, please. I'm running Thetis. This is an experiment for me. I'm used to old equipment. And this is all computer-driven Thetis. And I know some of you guys know about that stuff, so yes, please go ahead.
Okay, somewhere in the gain staging of your audio from the microphone onward, it's distorting about 20-30% distortion. And the frequency that's distorting first is around 200 hertz, maybe 180 hertz. So somewhere along the way, without going into your whole chain, you've got to bring down about 180 hertz, or even 200 would be a good thing, maybe 6 dB. And then something's overloading. So if you can start lowering the level of things all the way from the microphone, mic pre, whatever you have, and then go into the EQ and Thetis. You could even use CFC, but we can get into that later, because it could end up being an hour-long conversation. But if you go into the EQ in Thetis, you should be able to achieve what I'm mentioning, but the only caution is that the distortion, to my ear, is happening before the radio, because the radio can't create that kind of distortion, because even with the leveler at 0, the Anon has, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter, even if it's those different boards that you can buy. But the software won't allow the hardware to go into distortion, because the leveler will usually kick in whether you like it or not. So that's why, to me, it sounds like the distortion is pre-transmitter. Over. I'm sorry, that was a double station again?
Yes, Gordon, I agree. I was messing around with this, and I didn't really put enough time in. I just lowered the gain by 4 dB. And I am only running, I'm just running this, this is Personos Revelator microphone with their software, and I know it was overdriven, so what I did was I'm just using the microphone itself without this, well, the software is in, but it's all flat. So if I go to CFC real quick, ESP CFC, I just, yeah, okay, you're saying
the frequencies in use, stand by.
Be down, I'm at -2. I'm going to bring that down to, let's just say -6 right there, and see what happens. And let me unkey and see if that, so I pulled 4 dB off the actual audio gain of the microphone, and we pulled a couple dB off that 250 because I didn't really set up the CFC tools the way they're supposed to. All right, back over to you, Gordon. AC2MZY.
Okay. Okay, George, hi. And who was the other station that broke in?
Me, WA1STH.
Steve. And hi, George. I'll pick you up in a second. Well, like I said, it's not going to help, Dan. It's like EQing a distorted voice. First, you got to start from the microphone and go down the whole gain staging chain and see what's overloading. Really quickly, which Anon are you using if you're using an Anon? And the second question is that a USB mic with VAC or is this analog?
Okay, it's a USB mic with USB, and this is a Hermes Lite 2, and I'm running Fetus 210.0, and that's what we got there.
Okay, so you may want to go into Windows and look at the microphone level. Start with the first chain, because if Windows is too hot, it'll blow the whole chain. And if you want, we can go off frequency at some point. I'd be glad to go in with Team Viewer with you, and I can help you if you're interested. Over.
Yeah, Gordon, that would be awesome. That would be great. I'd really appreciate that. I'll send you a gift card or something. Send a meal over or something, whatever. Yeah, I'd really enjoy that. That'd be great. Maybe we could try, why don't we try something tomorrow? I know the old guys want to get in there, and I got a couple things to do, but yeah, if you have the time and recovery, that would be awesome. I did just quickly look at it, and that gain is at 75%. It might be too much. I'm way back from the microphone right now. Normally I'm talking up into it like this, but yeah, I know there's a couple issues, so yeah, that would be great if we could iron those out or at least get a start on it. I'm down. Absolutely.
Okay, W2GOR Friday. Yeah, we can go on tomorrow early afternoon or something. I'm an old fart here recovering, so... Now listen, we're a fraternity, you know, I love ham operators, and it's what we do, you know. I wouldn't have gotten my station to this point without the help of Steve and others. So, my pleasure. What we would do is, I've done it with many stations, I'll go in with Team Viewer, and you speak in your mic, and I'll fix the whole thing for you in 5 minutes. Fair enough?
Yeah, that sounds good. I actually use Team Viewer all the time for the company, so I'm sort of familiar with that. Not the greatest with it, but yeah, that would be great. Yeah, maybe tomorrow around, let's see. What time it is now? I don't even know, 6? But anyway, yeah, I'll catch you in the afternoon, maybe around this time, a little earlier, and we'll give it a shot. What the hell? Back over to you. KC2MZY for ID.
Okay, yeah, shoot me an email at W2GOR, my call, and the number 7 at Yahoo, just so I can have a way to contact you. We'll get it working. Because that's great stuff. That stuff can be like near broadcast quality. Anyway, thanks for hanging in there, everybody. George, good to hear you. Hope you're feeling good. I'm in the horizontal position here. Sorry for the visual. WA1STH, sounding great here. W2GOR. Good evening.
W2GOR in the group. WA1STH. Very good. Hope you're starting to feel better there. I heard you talking about sitting up in the chair too early and causing difficulties. Man, are we men stubborn. We don't listen. But anyways, now that you've discovered that the guy was right, I'm sure that you'll start feeling better really soon. Sound awesome, Gordon, as usual here. And I feel bad for that fellow that's trying to get it right there, but it is quite a contrast between what I hear from him and what I hear from you. I'll be looking forward to hearing the results of your work with TeamViewer. I do that quite a bit myself. But good to hear you. Glad you're still above ground. WA1STH. I think there's somebody else in there, too. If there is, go ahead.
Yeah, well, Gordon, I was waiting. I was actually napping and waiting to see how long it was going to take you to say something to Dan. And you went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. You didn't say anything. I said, well, I got to get up. This guy's audio. It's like, I don't know, it's like the low frequency equivalent of chalk on a blackboard. I couldn't, oh my God. Well, I'm glad you finally said something. Dan, I hope you get it straightened out. I don't know what he's using over there or what's going on. But that was rough to listen to, Gordon.
It's okay, you know, it's, and, Steve, thanks for the good words on the audio. I'm running 180% modulation, and it can create a lot of problems with selective fading distortion or overwhelm a lot of old receivers. But, you know, I kind of got it tweaked. I got rid of some pain-in-the-neck frequencies that I always hear on shortwave stations that really annoy me. So I kind of scooped them out a little bit and limited things a little bit, and then I can get away with more audio. And I'm hearing it on K3FEF. It's not that that's the be-all, end-all, although I love Michael. I just mean that it's holding up okay. But yeah, George, yeah, well, you know, he has a great transmitter. I mean, that board is an Anon, basically, you know. And the software is software. It can do whatever you want. Yeah, it's just a gain staging thing, you know. If the first stages are you know, distorting, you can't do anything after that. An EQ distortion, you know. So we'll get him going. Yeah, I helped a lot of guys that way. Many dozen. Actually, without exaggeration, 1,200 hams in Ham Radio Deluxe. I put them in a category called Helped with Audio. It's up to 1,200 now, and I always get these emails and QSL cards. Not that I know, you know, I'm not a broadcast engineer, but, you know, I have really good ears, and I know how to get what I want. I had to learn it myself. Well, you've been to my studio, so anyway. But, you know, listen to Steve. He's got an incredible voice and articulation and diction and personality and great frequencies. And, you know, a lot of people with that quality of audio don't want to hear a lot of opinions, including from me. So I go a little easy and I ask people first, would you like me to help you? I had a guy said, nope, not at all, I'm good. So you never know. Anyway, good to hear you. I hope you're feeling better. So yeah, and thanks, Steve. We're on the mend here, and you know, I could be a hell of a lot worse and be in some third world SH whole country, to quote our former president. Back to you.
This conversation, I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing this muffled audio, and I think the guy's name is Dan. And Dan, if you're listening, don't be offended at all, because we've all been there. And I'm hearing this muffled audio, and you're talking, and I don't hear any suggestive criticism at all, constructive, as it were. And it was kind of funny. I was fixing something. I said, well, okay, that's fixed good enough for now. I got to see what the hell's going on in the other room. WA1STH.
Jesus Christ, when is Gordon going to frickin' say something already?
So I don't have exact frequency control here. I usually have the flex up and running. Well, let's see what the flex says. Because I use that as, it's on the computer here, and it's not hooked to an antenna. What the hell is that? It's not hooked to an antenna. There it is. So I can now... Hold on a second. Because now that you mention that, I have to fix it. Okay, now we can get exactly on frequency. I have a digital display for these radios, but they've been on and off the bench so much, modifying them and tweaking them, that I haven't taken the time to set one up in a permanent nature with the digital displays so that I know what frequency I'm on. But I should be right on 3873 now.
Yeah, between my synchronous AM, which went absolutely ape SH. Excuse me, when you were in a KCOA, it was going. Sounds like an HLR imitation when he does those voices. So yeah, now it's much better, no problem. And also, you're in the filter. You're not like you bet to like when it just brought you right in on 73. And George, that baseball conversation made my day. It brought back so many memories. Man. Wow. Now I can't wait for next year. But the thing is, I had a little thing about the Yankees. I was aggravated with the way, the free agents would get bought and sold. And you know what I mean, George. I mean, I don't really know baseball like you do. But it became such crazy salaries and trading and management issues, and you know what I mean? Did it, I don't mean to put baseball down, but I got turned off. Over.
A lot of people look at the magnitude of the money involved and all, and the fact that they've striked on occasion, and I get it. I totally get it. But when you consider the money involved and you consider the money that the owners and the sport as a whole take in from all their various revenue sources, attendance probably being the least of it, for a lot of teams anyway, it's mostly TV money. When you look at that and then you consider let's say there's 30 teams and there's a 40-man roster, right? 28, I think now it's 28 guys active, traveling, playing with the team at one time, but they have a 40-man roster that they can protect players from being taken by other teams. So 30 teams, 40 guys, 1,200 people in the country or the world who are capable of playing at that level. So, those 1,200 guys are generating, I don't know. I don't know what the total revenue generated between all the teams. It's got to be probably $1 trillion between attendance and TV money and all of that. So, when Aaron Judge gets his $40 million a year, I don't hold it against him. But, yeah, it's a little ridiculous. I wish Willie Mays was around to get some of that money. I don't think he ever made more than $200,000 a year, which is amazing when you contemplate that. Or Mantle. I don't think Mantle made more than $100,000 a year. That's insane. The average Joe Schmo today makes $100,000.
Maybe that's also part of it too. No, but I don't begrudge it or anything. I just mean the way in the year 2000, 1999, I loved the Yankees. They were everything to me. And I went to a lot of games with my son, but it started changing. And anyway, I'm not sure what's happening with management, but I don't think that they won the 3 World Series in a row with Joe Torre because it was an accident. I think he was a great manager at that time.
Hey, Gordon, real quick.
Yeah.
W2GLR7, what was the rest of that real quick? And guys, no offense taken. You have a lot of old tube equipment here surrounding me, so that I'm a little better with. SDR, not so good. I got sideband sounding good, but I definitely appreciate any feedback on the AM. No offense taken. I enjoy this hobby. Okay, Gordon, back over to you. Peace.
Okay, it's a little bit better, by the way. And until we fix it, just go into the EQ and the thetas. The transmit EQ?
I actually have it off, yes.
Well, turn it on and make it all flat and drop 200 hertz, about 5 dB. And that'll help you. So come back when I turn it back to you there. But yeah, George, so it just, I got a little bit disoriented with the Yankees, and my son was disillusioned too, and he was when they wouldn't do well in the middle of the season. We had some hope, you know, remember that? And then it would go down. He got disillusioned. He's out in St. Louis. So, anyway, WA1STH. Sounding great over there, Steve. And your 223 sounds like $1 million there. It's packing a lot of beautiful audio. W2GOR.
W2GOR, WA1STH. Thank you. It's all in part of the fun, you know. Tweaked it a little there. Yeah, I occasionally dump the 3280 IF from the FT101 into the Flex. Kind of neat. Allows you to do a lot more. But Yankees, you know, the New England Patriots have been were on a roll for a number of years, and a lot of kids were born and followed them for 18 years or so, and they get used to the fact that they won all the time, and I've been following them since they became a team, and I was used to crappy years like we're having this year. This year's laughable, though, but I think, you know, all of those sports, it takes the right amount of luck, the right management team, the right coaching staff, and getting the right players at the right time. And they build a team that way, and they just, that synergy is just there. And then they lose it, and things happen. And Dan, yes, you sounded better. I don't know if you did before, but you sounded better. Be interested to hear, now you flatten the EQ and drop 200 hertz a little bit, if you sound any better now. Are you there, Dan? If so, go ahead.
And make sure you engage the EQ.
Way the hell away from the microphone. And went into the equalizer up at the top end of there, and just pulled, there was 250 sitting there, so I just pulled that down to negative 10 or 9 or whatever it goes to, so hopefully that helped a little bit. But yeah, Gordon, I forgot what, if anybody could say it, doesn't matter. W2GOR 7 at what was it at? I didn't have something. So yeah, no, there's no offense taken. I call it constructive criticism to get me where we need to get me. So I'll take any information that you think.
All right, very good. So you're talking about the EQ and thetas, right? The one on the front panel, correct?
Yes, right at the top of the 210.0. Up at, you know, memory, wave, equalizer, that one. It was off. I turned it on. The microphone software, and I'll go over this with Gordon and everything. I'm using a Sonos Revelator microphone, and using that, the VAC, and you know, I got all equalizers off except for the CFC tool. That's the only thing I'm actually.
All right, so can you back down the microphone gain? You have an external preamp, am I correct? Or are you just dealing with a USB mic plugged right into the into the computer?
I'm using it comes with its own software, which you could open. I mean, I could change. I can make crazy voice sounds and noises and all kinds of things, which I don't use. But I have everything flat right now, but I can pull the dB back, gain, like, here, there's one thing, and, you know, you're a robot, you could do that, you could do that, I could do that, and let me turn all that off, and let me pull the gain back. I'm at 18, let me pull this back. Here we go, let's try 12. Let's cut it back a bit. Close this up.
Hey, hang on a second, you're jumping ahead of me. I asked you if you have a mic preamp. The answer is no?
Sorry about that. No, it just USB right into the...
Okay, back it down 1 or 2 more dB. What you were just doing, back it down 1 or 2 dB. Don't worry about your transmit audio level.
There's 10. that does, and I'm probably about 6 inches.
Okay, you can get up a little closer to the mic. Okay, now open up CFC real quick. George and Steve, this will just take 2 seconds so he can join our QSO. Open up CFC and let me know if the CFC in and out are both checked off.
I got the 2 boxes checked, CFC post and CFC tools or whatever it's called.
Okay, and just real quick, because I want to go quickly for these guys. This is W2GOR for ID. So, just yes or no, did you change any settings or are they flat?
No, I did change them. I could read them off tomorrow. I don't want to hang everybody up. I know everybody. But yeah, no, I got some frequencies in there. And, you know, it's an experiment each time.
It's okay. No. You don't have to read them. It doesn't matter to my ear. So, how many dB is the pre-comp?
Hold on, let me take a look real quick. Let's see, the pre-comp is at 6 dB. 6 dB. The post gain is at -8 right now. Back over to you.
Okay, raise the pre-comp up a couple of notches. Don't worry about numbers. Doesn't matter what the number is. Raise the pre-comp up a couple of numbers and raise the post-EQ gain up a couple of numbers. Do that while I talk. Can you do it while I'm speaking?
Yes, sir. I got it going right now.
Okay, and then do you have a frequency like 4 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz? I mean, you know they're all user programmable. Anything around 4 kilohertz?
Yeah, I actually got one for 3,000, 4,000, 5,000.
Raise the 4,000 a couple of notches on the first one, the pre-comp. Okay, just do that, and you're good to go. Now, after you raise 4K on the input, switch over to DSP, which you're on that tab right now, and switch on to DSP/AGC, the third tab.
Okay, I'm there.
Where is the max gain set with the leveler in the middle, and is it enabled?
Leveler is enabled. Max gain is at 15.
Drop it to 4.
Okay, and now there's 4, and we're speaking about 2 inches from the microphone. Back over to you.
Okay, now go to, let's see, where the hell am I with it? Okay, go to the second tab called Audio, and you see it says Enable VAC1 is checked off, correct?
That is correct.
Go to the right, and you'll see Gain dB RX TX. Is TX at 0?
Negative. TX is at 6, RX is at 0.
Okay, leave that at 6. Go back to DSP/CFC for one more change.
Okay, we're there.
And raise the pre-comp a couple of more notches. Raise the pre-comp a couple of more notches. And bring up 5 kilohertz a little bit too, not just 4. Give us a little more 5. And we're good for now.
And that would be on the pre-comp, correct?
Yeah, and give me more pre-comp audio too. Give me about 3 notches more.
Okay, and there we go. Hello, radio.
Okay, so this will get us through the QSO. It should sound okay. And what's your transmit bandwidth under the transmit profile on the main GUI? The 0 number on the low doesn't affect AM, by the way. But what's the high number, like 5,000?
I am at, right on the transmit profile when I tried to make. 6,010 was 5910, but like you said, that doesn't do nothing anyway.
That doesn't do anything. That's too much. Just make it 5,700, and it'll give you a nice little boost on the skirt of the filter. So low should be 0, and the high should try 5,600. Over.
Getting out of here and go eat. Talk to you guys later. 7-3 and 2LJO.
See you, George. Sorry, George, I didn't know you were going to leave, so my apologies.
Thanks for dealing with my terrible audio. Enjoy your
Up for 7-3, Steve and Gordon and Dan. Bye.
Okay. Dan, 7-3, enjoy your dinner. And Steve, I'm almost done. Go back into the CFC after you do the 5,600. And give me a bunch more 5K, like bring that up like, 5-6 dB, okay?
I am maxed out right now on the 5K on the pre-comp.
Do it on the post-comp.
Okay, that's maxed out on the post EQ gain now also.
Okay, and then do you have like 200 hertz or something? Bring that down on the post. Let's bring 200 down a little bit. And bring up like 70 hertz or 80 hertz on the first band. A couple of notches on the post too. And even more 5 kilohertz, because you don't have any preemphasis, which most AM stations need to have. Just to give you an idea, if I shut off mine, now I just shut off the preemphasis, and you can see what a difference that makes. And this is with the preemphasis on this AM broadcast device. So we're kind of simulating that until I go into your system tomorrow. So a little more 4 and 5K and a little more volume, and you're good to go. Steve, he sounds better for now, right?
Yeah, I got to hear him after he makes the final adjustments. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay, very well, and here we go. Made a couple adjustments. Actually, I'm seeing a little
sounded better before.
EQ kind of reader or something. I don't know what the hell to call it next to it. Getting a little red speculation there or something. I don't know what to call it. Goes up and down a little bit now, which I've never seen before. Okay, well there we are.
Wow, Steve, I think he sounds 10 times better here now. That mud is gone. You're still getting the mud on your end?
No, he sounds... He come a long ways. You did a great job. He just seems as though he's a hair overdriven. I don't know what you're dealing with, a DAW, or is that some kind of different interface for the non-radio? I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, yeah, it's the digital mic thing. It's kind of unpredictable with Windows. He's right. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so the frequency response is fixed, but Steve, Dan, bring down the level of the pre-comp. That's going to be your microphone gain for now. Bring it down a couple notches and you're all set. And we'll do it tomorrow. So anyway, Steve, yeah, I'm here kind of stuck. But I got to be patient like you guys said. I'm workaholic. I always have 10 things in the fire. So this is really hard for me because I'm composing for 3 hours, then arranging, then mixing, mastering, and everybody's waiting, and it's going to hurt my business. But it's interesting. I've never had something where you're not allowed to work. So back to you, Steve.
Yeah, well, think about the bad part of that, how you could be dead. And just cool your jets, as they say, and sit back there and do what it is you can do. Now, I think you made great strides with Dan. He's doing fine. I think, if you want to continue a little bit here, don't let me hold you up. Go ahead, fellas. Get it right.
No, we're good. We're good for now. Let let them save that profile. You can call it like Gordon 1 or G1 as a place to start or something. Very good. And Steve, that bottom end on that mic, it just sounds like $1 million. Is that a large diaphragm condenser?
Yes, it is. It's the infamous B1 microphone. I've tried everything, and I could always come back to this mic and make it the way I wanted it. And that's with anything out there. You know, I've heard 1 million different microphones. I've heard everybody screw around with everything under the sun. And I know a lot of guys that use this mic, and it does a hell of a job. So, you know, $100, and there you go. I've heard ribbons, I've heard expensive mics, I've heard everything. We all go crazy with this stuff anyways. I mean, if we were realistic, communications, great audio would be fine if that's what we're going to do, but then you get into the hi-fi disease, and I'm looking around at 20 different things I tried, and finally got smart enough to just leave things alone.
Well, this is W2GOR for ID. It's so nice, though, when you start going into that audio realm, and then you get it better and better and better and better. It's so much fun. And it sounds great, and you got the voice. You know, some guys sound like this. How do I sound? You know, it's it could be like Curtis Lewa. Anyway. Excuse me. Well, the interesting thing about the low frequencies on your station is selective fading likes your bass. I was just sending Clark a text message a little while ago that listen to shortwave stations. That frequency from 125 to 175 can become such garbage with selective fading. But yours, it's strange. It's very heavily modulated, nicely modulated, and when it fades, we're having some nasty selective fading, and I'm hearing you on locally and on an SDR. And it's surviving. It's very clean on the bottom. You know, because selective fading makes something distorted 4 times more distorted. And the other thing I wanted to compliment you on is there's a 1.5 kilohertz to 2 kilohertz presence rise. Not that it doesn't go higher than that. That is that magic combination that those old Neumann 67s and 47s had when you keep them like, you know, 12 inches away. You remember Robert Goulet and those guys, those records? I don't know how old you are, but, you know, Camelot, all those records, they always sounded great. You have that presence rise, so the bottom and the mid-range are working together with your voice. And that's what I wanted to say. In that crazy journey and disease, it depends on what your voice is like. I have a very dull, bassy voice. If you saw how much mid-range and treble I have going on here, your eyes would pop out. So, and this condenser microphone just does the best for me. When I do the RE20, it's just kind of dry. So yeah, man, you hit the jackpot. You must have some pretty good ears, great ears, and I presume that you love music. Over.
Yeah, I'm a child of the 60s, that's for sure. I'm 74, so... And Gordon, you have a tremendously good radio voice. You're one of my favorite radio voices. I like Jeff's voice, NBC, yours, KBW's. Those are some of the top ones here. I would say that Bob told me something a long time ago, and I don't know who he heard it from, KBW I'm talking about, and he said, you know, you can keep screwing around, you can get 95% of the way there. He said, but the other 5% will cost you thousands of dollars, and you won't know when you get there.
Aha, that is great. And he's right. Yeah, he's a great guy. And by the way, I'm on the RE20 right now. And you would think that this thing would have more bottom end, but right away you can tell it doesn't have all the harmonics that the condenser mic has, and I've already made up for the EQ. So if I go into the Innovonics and I start adding some more bottom end on here, I can get it pretty close to the condenser, but you can tell, right? This is kind of dry AM radio, right?
Oh yeah, the brightness is gone. I've got an RE20 that I've never been able to EQ to my voice the way I want it to sound. Matter of fact, I haven't done it yet, but I was going to throw in a box, and I did advertise that once, and I was missing the screw-in mic stand, and I was selling at a very reasonable price, and the guy said to me, well, where's the thing that screws on the bottom? I said, I don't know, it's in a rubble here somewhere. And that was it. He didn't want it, apparently, but hey, everybody's different. I've heard RE27s that do a little bit better, and I've been threatening to play with one of those, but I keep coming back. I've got a C1 mic that's made by the same company, and then I've got another condenser mic I paid real short money for. Got a boom and everything with it 2 or 3 years ago, and I'll bet that damn thing sounds as good as this thing does. But please put your condenser mic back on and stop playing with that junk.
My God, he's so wide up there. I don't like telling people that they're splattering. I don't know what it is. I don't do that. I actually enjoy it. It's part of the hobby to me, you know, and you know what I mean? When you get that thing, it's kind of I can't explain it. It doesn't bother me. But anyway, he's almost covering you up there, but it's okay. Yeah, so now we're back on the condenser, and it's more sensitive to all these different frequencies. The Inovonics Novia 236 has this bass punch, which I just turned on now. And it kind of is weird because it goes in and out, hence the word punch. But I don't really use it. You might like it. It's on right now. And it knows when to do transients on the low frequencies. Anyway, I think it's too much. So I turned it off to keep it more natural like this. And I found that the positive peaks control right at 110. Gives me just the right asymmetry for my voice. And then I let the E-Rig do the rest by just driving the E-Rig harder and using Steve's negative peak clipper. But that can get a little bit much too. So let me back off the negative peak clipper. If you've got a good copy on me, there's no need to run that kind of level of modulation. So this is 130, yeah. Yeah, but you look really good on this pad adapter. And the audio sounds really great. I don't know anything about what's in this thing. I just know KBW's description and Steve's description of it. But I wish I could find a way to have quieter relays when I transmit without that clunk. I wonder. That's that, and I want to change the fans. WA1STH, W2GOR.
W2GOR, WA1STH. I don't know who's upstairs there splattering. I don't care either. I didn't move the dial. Well, one of the advantages, I think, that the Yaesu FT101, the old version, I have to be careful when I say that because there's a new version of it out there, 101D, so people get confused. But I think one of the things that's good about this radio is that it uses something called a ring modulator. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I read all about it and then forgot all about it. But anyways, there's no iron to distort anything or cause any phase shifting. So this damn radio does a good job. I love these things. They're a ball. A lot of fun to play with. The manual is fantastic. And yes, this is a Yaesu FT101 Foxtrot or Echo advertisement. But yeah, I when I first started playing with this, it splattered quite a bit, and that's why I got the 223 to feed it, and it does a hell of a job of limiting. And really, I'm really happy with it. I have a Schlockwood here that I'm going to sell. That is silly me. I didn't realize it had jumpers in it, and I could narrow the bandwidth on that too. I didn't read the book until after I got the 223, and you know that wasn't cheap. W2GOR, WA1STH.
Okay, well, one good thing about this this SDR play is I just removed the right sideband on you there. He's on 3880 actually, which is unusual. I don't usually see that kind of thing over here. Whatever. So I do have the B1 written. I have the 528E. I have the 223 and Avonics written here. The transmitter I didn't write down, is that the Yaesu FT101 you're on now?
Yeah, this is the Yaesu FT101 Foxtrot. The last version of the 101s from back in the 70s. And that's it. My poor Flex has been sitting here for a long time without getting used.
It just sounds amazing. And you've dropped to only 10 over from 30 over, and it's still punching through. Now, I'm trying to remember if that's the radio that I owned. Is that a hybrid, the final being a tube?
Yeah, it's got two 6JS6s in the final. A couple of old sweep tubes and a 12BY7 as a driver. The rest of it's all solid state with plug-in boards. So get the extenders and you can take this baby apart and have a ball with it.
Well, look at that. I remember doing something with the modulation of that. I had one.
Test.
Testing is succeeding.
Sorry about that.
Hey, don't be sorry about that. You designed my transmitter. You think I'm going to piss you off?
I would piss him off. Pie guy. Come on.
This is Steve.
I just added a new speaker here. And I just want to make sure I wasn't going to get audio into it when I transmitted. So continue on. I've been listening for a long time. And Gordon, yeah, you got the other fellow there sounding a whole lot better. It was pretty distorted, but not bad now. And I guess you guys are going to work together tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, no, good to hear you, man. When you transmit, things quiet. So you give my ears a break. All the hash goes away. So on behalf of the ham radio community, thank you for full quieting in our lives. That will be your eulogy when you're 120 years old. Full quieting. Now you sound good, Steve. Steve's got a really nice sound, Steve STH. And he doesn't have hyped frequencies like I need to do. His voice is a little higher than mine, but he has such a good ear for what mic to use and what he did with the minimalist approach with compression and EQ that it's got a nice sound. I mean, when Steve is S7, it's not the punchiest thing in the world, but he's not into that, It's, because you always hear the low frequencies. By the way, something I wanted to mention, these SDRs, the Kiwis, do have a de-emphasis switch with two positions. I think probably 70 microvolts and something else. And I don't know if people know that, but they are receiving brighter than the average AM receiver would, let's say, in somebody's car. Just something to mention, so, a little pre-emphasis can go a long way. WNSTH, W2GR. Oh, can just tell me briefly in layman's language, because I won't understand more. What did you do to the Yaesu to make it sound so good?
Oh, it's a multitude of modifications given to me by a whole bunch of different people. Nothing really original, just putting everything together. Mainly, let's see, Frank, W2SDR, had the values for the electrolytic caps, both the main power supply caps and the regulator board, and Timmy had modifications for the audio, receive and transmit audio boards, and there's a whole bunch of other little stuff you can run into on the internet that were problems with these radios to begin with, like coupling caps cooking and taking out other things, blah, blah, blah. It's just putting it all together is all it amounts to. So QIX, any pies coming up in the mix or what?
Yeah, I'll probably I made a couple of apple pies for Thanksgiving. Those went over well, and I'll probably make at least one more pie before heading to Florida. So the FT101 was very easy to make it sound good on transmit. There's an easy way to do it. Well, you don't have to do anything hardly at all. You just go in. You go directly into the modulator. It's a bass modulated stage. It's not the best modulator in the world, but it gets by. I mean, if you really want to do it right, you collect or modulate that transistor, but it's acceptable, and you can just go in there with line level audio, and the thing sounds beautiful, with doing nothing. Receive is another story. The way I did the receive on the FT101 is I simply bypassed everything internally and went into an external, high fidelity audio system. I don't like modifying transmitters, unless I rip everything out and start over again with a new design. So that's another way to do it. But that's the real quick and dirty, lazy. Which, when it comes to building, I confess to being lazy. See, Gordon, yes, I designed the transmitter, but you should be really glad that Wayne built it and not me. He just does such a much better job.
Well, we have a prayer in the morning that we do. It says, Lord, thank you for putting my soul back into my body this morning. And thank you for the fact that Steve did not build my transmitter. We do that every morning when we wake up.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Steve, I saw a video of you on YouTube. You know that one where you take us for a little tour and you go to the back of that that wall of stuff? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I am unaware of this YouTube video. I didn't make it, and I don't know anything about it.
No, you made it because you're narrating and talking to the person and looking at the person saying, now I'm going to show you the coils and I'm going to show you this. Anyway, I'll have to send it to you sometime. Yeah, that's the second time in 24 hours that you said you didn't see a YouTube video that people mentioned, so that's interesting. Maybe the other one was taken and they didn't tell you they were going to put it on the YouTube. But anyway, I saw some of the components and how they are laid out. The way like a big Gates transmitter would be set up. Everything was spaced around. You had these coils. They looked like they were homebrew coils over, I don't know, cardboard. I couldn't tell what it was, but I got to see what Bob was talking about, that was your genius design, but I could just see you there during the evolution of it, just trying to get what you wanted to get out of it, not worried about, the mechanics getting in the way. So I got a glimpse of your big transmitter, I think, which went up to about 6 feet tall.
Oh, I Googled it. Yeah, let me see here. Well, look at that. I actually look really different. I don't look like that anymore. My hair is really long down the back. My beard is much shorter. Yep, that's the transmitter that's here at Mirror Lake. You can see that I'm standing behind it in the video, and I'm standing in a closet. The room is so small that in order for me to get behind the transmitter to do work on it, I took the doors off the closet and put the transmitter up against it, because the room is tiny. It's 10 feet by 11 feet, and I have all this stuff in it. Yeah, that's a very complicated transmitter that I'm explaining there. I forgot about that. I still, when I look at that transmitter and some of the circuitry in it, and, the circuitry that is in the pulse width modulation generator, I said there was no need to make it that complicated.
So if you want to take a look at it, Steve, just type in WA1QIX space class space E, and it should be the first YouTube that comes up, put up by Ted Holdall. Anyway, are those coils above your head? Which must be like a 7-foot high transmitter. Are those just something you wound yourself and put tape over some, they look like tape, not tape dispensers, they look like tape rolls.
Yeah, I'm looking at that picture right now. So, yeah, it's a 2-phase pulse width modulator. So they're basically, how many modulators are in that transmitter totally? I think there's I think there are 8 modulators in that transmitter. And it's a 2-phase pulse width. There's 8 modulators, and I combine every other one to make 4 complete modulators. So the 8 modulators, say if you just look at one path through the transmitter, there are two 180 degree out of phase signals coming through, both running at 160 kilohertz, and each one of those goes into one of those coils that are up there. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 8 coils or 8 modulators. So in any single signal path, 2 modulators feed in, and then the output of those 2 coils, that's the input coil for the pulse width modulation filter. They combine, and then if you look at underneath that, you'll see all the toroids that I wound. So each module has its own filter. And the transmitter has 12 modules in it. And at that point, I'm filtering 160 kilohertz instead of, I'm filtering 320 kilohertz instead of 160 because it works like a full wave rectifier. It doubles the switching frequency. Well, there's a helicopter going over. You can probably hear it. Very low frequency. Yeah, there's a helicopter flying over Mirror Lake. I wonder why. Hopefully they're not looking for a missing person. That would not be a good thing. Hopefully they're not looking for me. That would even be worse. But anyway, yeah, that's the transmitter that I'm using right now.
I had a feeling this is W2GR. We should ID.
This is WA1 Queen Item X-ray.
WA1STH.
Okay, he's back to his normal phonetics. Echo November Yankee. W2GR. I don't know if you're running remote, Bob, or where you are. It's hard to keep track of everybody. All right, well, Steve, I figured I had an idea, had a feeling that this was the transmitter where you're at now, and what you're using now, I presume, to speak with us. So that is very cool. My dream transmitter, if I ever could build one, I'm starting to get the itch again, would be something where it could be in a rack and I could pull out a bunch of modules and all the resistors and everything would be like easy to get to, and I could just fix it. I wouldn't care about the space. But then I know there's some sensitivity to proximity, but I presume you can shield things. But, you know, when I looked at a Gates transmitter today, it looked like things were pretty spaced out, and I asked myself, I wonder if this is for easier, repairing because it's a commercial device. So, anyway, let me turn it to Steve so he can talk a little bit. I've spoken enough here. I'm going to listen, and then we'll turn it over to Bob, I guess. WA1STH. And I encourage you to see the video if you haven't yet. It's pretty cool. W2GR. Oh, by the way, Steve, okay, on the filters for each module, you actually narrated that in the video, so I can't believe you did all this by hand. Go ahead, Steve.
W3 MMR recognized. WA1STH with the group. And Bob, Yankees. Yes, I got that. Well, very good. Check and make sure everything's working. It's working. All right, well, I'm going to go back to the bench and listen to you guys. This is a large enough group now, all guys with good audio. I wonder what happened to Dan. I thought he was going to come back in and say a few words after he was done with his final adjustments, Gordon, but I guess not. And so I think we'll pass it over to Bob, and I'll be at the bench, and if I hear anything that requires a comment, I'll be happy to jump in. But good talking to all you guys. Have a good evening. WA1STH. Hello to Perry.
AC2MZY. We're going to say 7 3s.
W0. Joyce, Montpelier, Wisconsin.
I don't know. I heard a bunch of W0s or something in there, I think. Let me see if I got it. Yeah, right, I guess. I reckon I do, if I can use the Bull Mason-Dixon line reference. Anyway, good times, fellas.
Man, I don't want to get engaged.
stuck in the car with, I drove down to the sales guy's house on Monday morning. We drove out to Pittsburgh. We had dinner there Monday night. Hung out doing spreadsheets yesterday. Customer meeting yesterday afternoon. Customer dinner last night at Le Chino's in Murraysville. What a fantastic restaurant, man. I had banana peppers stuffed with sausage, cooked in the oven, and then...
No audio. Good evening. W3 MMR. I'll see you guys.
And then I had strippers.
Okay, Perry.
The other guys had the sea bass, and I'm kind of like,
I see, Perry.
I don't know about that. Anyway, but man, it was a food overdose. I had a side of linguine. There was a side of salad. I said no on the salad, and I ended up the guy next to me ended up sharing his salad with me. And then, there was a whole plate of linguine. I brought it home, and it filled the tin thing. And anyway, we're having pizza tonight here delivered, but I'm probably gonna have that linguine tomorrow for lunch. And it was a food overdose. But anyway, we drove back today. Left the hotel at 7:30 or something like that. Had some Mickey D's on the way back, and then it was just a bunch of slapstick humor, playing stuff on his radio. And he's like, man, I can't get like a regular radio station like this. I said, what do you want to listen to? News Radio 88? And we're out in like Somerset, Pennsylvania. And he's like, yeah. I said, well, why didn't you ask me? So I put FEF on there, and I go over to 880, and I jack into his audio system. He's like, how did you do that? I'm like, come on, man, it's friggin' radio. It's a riot. So it's good times. So anyway, I don't know where it goes from here. I got home before I stopped at the bar just to wind down a little while ago. Had a couple beers there, and then I came home here at a nice hot shower because we drove through all kinds of winter events right around what was that, Tuscarora Mountain and Blue Hill Tunnel out on the Pike. And man, it was just it was snowing. And anyway, I'm back home. Good times. Had a couple of beers. I'm gonna have a nice bottle of wine with my wife at home, and I think I'm gonna crash that bike tonight because there's something to be said about working from home. Okay, it's positive, but man, I gotta start going to the gym or something because being out for 3 days, I am like wicked tired today. So I gotta switch some stuff around. So man, I don't know who gets it. Perry, why don't I turn it over to you? You're the new guy on the block, so that means you buy drinks. So we'll flip it over to you, and then you can throw it up in the air and see what happens. W3 MMR, and I saw you had snow today down there as well. This is Whiskey 2 Echo November Yankee.
Yeah, I'm actually still here. I'm just going to take it, and I heard Robert in there. I know he's been waiting patiently. Hey, Bob, your audio is pretty low, man. But good evening to you. Great to hear you, Bob, as always. And Steve, and Gordon, and Steve, TH, and everyone else who may be in there. We're just going to listen out, but good to hear everyone this evening. I was sending out to Robert, W0VMC, W3MMR. Good evening and good night.
Gordon.
him, but man isn't all stressed out yet. That's for sure. When on that first dial when I heard QIX, Steve Hill and you, we'll have to catch up on projects. See what's the latest and greatest on the fence there.
I'm going to say 7-3s, guys. Thanks for the help.
Obviously, you got I personally just you up the band. This is a great place to pop in, say hi, and totally get excited. But, just passing through. Haven't spoke with the old gang in a while. Been on 40 meters, and of course, lineup will be up around 10, 15 on AM DX, and even stateside stuff. It's just a blank. That's the quick take from stateside to Wisconsin. I'm not sure we get this next, but I was just going to pass through and say hi.
What are these guys going to set it up on 30?
We'll have to settle in and have a good
WV1Z.
Take it from there. W81. Be on here. It's always a pleasure. W0 voice modulated carrier.
And sorry to break in here, guys. I didn't get the other half of my dinner here. So I'm going to go downstairs and finish that and go horizontal and listen to everybody. Robert, good to hear you. Perry. Bob, your audio did drop down quite a bit there, ENY, by the way. So whoever he just turned it to, go ahead. Just wanted to say hi to Robert and Steve. Steve and Steve, we'll look for you later, possibly. W2GR. Sorry to interrupt. See you later.
No interruption. All right, Gordon. Maybe we'll talk with you later. Make sure I'm not doubling. Yeah, I'm having great difficulty copying everybody here due to the first Wednesday or last one, whatever it is, the Wednesday net that's operating on 3879. They really should be on 3880, but it's not going to matter. Those guys they're louder than everybody here. So I'm going to sign out at least temporarily and let them sort of carry on with their net up frequency. And we'll talk with everybody later. But I'm going to sign for the moment. I'm having great difficulty hearing all but the absolute most strongest station. So this is WA1QIX signing for now, and we'll probably be back in an hour.
7-3s there, Pie Guy.
Yeah, 7-3, all the best, Steve. Yeah, and forgive me, brothers. My audio was crappy low, and I had no processor, and that's because I was on the iPhone on Monday when I was where was I? Somerset, Pennsylvania. I forget. Anyway, we had to do a Sierra Hotel India Tango stop for the driver, and picked up a case of 30-pack of Iron City Light, and I was talking to Gordon on here or on 85, I forget, and I was using the iPhone, and I come home here and I'm using the PC, and the iPhone audio was still set up through somewhat smart SDR, so things are reset. I think things should be sounding a little bit better.
November 2, Queen Mary.
Hey, Queen Mary, pick it up, man. Whiskey 2 Echo November Yankee.
Okay, November Yankee. I didn't get the calls. I didn't get the whole call. I heard Gordon sign. And, yeah, I'm trying out a new radio here. Well, I've been on before with it. This is the Hermes Light 2 Plus. And, yeah, it's cranking out pretty good. I think I'm a little overmodulated. I gotta turn something down.
I don't know, man. I don't have an otoscope, so I can't help you, brother.
can check out the meters. That's what's nice about the Hermes. You can set up all the meters and you really just transmit by what you see on the meters and kind of self-adjust once you get the rate. I like it.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I'm usually on my Kenwood 890, which sounds good on AM. But I can only go about, I don't know, 5.5 wide. I think I have this set for 10 KC wide, so I'm sure it sounds a lot better.
Yeah, I'm running 5 times 2 exactly here on the Flex 6500 with a Meritron AL 1200 amp. I'm doing about 200 watts carrier. So life is good, brother.
Very good indeed. That Flex sounds great.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, I just wanted to see. I got about a 175.
Man, I'll tell you, I love running the Valiant and the Ranger and all the old tube stuff.
I'm running into a Mercury Lux.
With these knuckleheads that just come on.
I'm using an RE27 mic.
3879. It's like, man, I just went over here to
getting back into it really. I was out of the hobby for 22 years. I came back about 2 years ago. Name here is Tim.
And all the crap that's gone. I love it.
About halfway between New York City and Albany.
Really, we got to be pretty close then. I'm in Cornhole in the Hudson. We're kind of our village is adjacent to West Point Military Academy, like just south of the Newburgh Beacon Bridge, sort of double along that port.
And yeah, I don't have my meters. I can't see what you're giving me over here, but I'm sure it's quite substantial. But there's been a lot of noise the last couple of days with all these sunspot activity.
Yeah, sunspot stuff's been happening. Anyway, I was out in the Berg last few days, Pittsburgh, and yeah, it was kind of fun. We had it was a sales meeting. I got dragged out there and stuff, and yeah, it was kind of fun, and all life sucking event all at the same time. I mean, spending 7 hours today with the sales guy was kind of. I mean, he's a good guy. Okay, don't get me wrong, but spending 7 hours in the car with a guy is kind of like, you know, how many times can you talk about Joe Walsh and music and trash talk our competitors and, you know, blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Well, when I'm in the car, I put on SDR radio. I listen to the speakers and kind of passes the time with that. Yeah, I just looked. My eyes aren't that great. You're doing 30 over to me.
Yeah, you're about the same. You're depending on the fade pattern. You're slow fading between 25 and 30, and the deep fade stuff. I don't know. It goes. It's sustained. You're only going down to like 10. So I think there's a part of ground wave that's factoring in here among us.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I have a 246-foot doublet up about 80 feet.
fed with 225 feet of 600 ohm ladder line into a Palstar AT Ge. Yeah, it works very well. And I'm cranking into a Mercury Lux, which is a recent acquisition. I think this is one of the better amps that I've ever touched. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I just looked up your cures and stuff. Queensbury here, like up by Lake George. Yeah, we're a little bit more apart than I was thinking. I thought maybe we were in Dutchess County, something like that. But anyway, good times, man. Anyway, I hate to run, but we got pizza being delivered to the house here in about 5 minutes, and if I'm up there to greet the guy at the door, the crap's gonna hit the fan with my wife, especially after being home after 3 days out. So anyway, let me say 7-3, all the best, Dave, and we'll get you on the flip side, brother. November 2, Queen Mary. I'm sorry. Whoa, that's where I got it. Hold on. Into QL. Yeah, Tim. That's better. I thought you were in Dutchess County. Anyway, November 2, Queen Mary. This is W2ENY.
Okay, very good. Yeah, nice to meet you, and I'm sure I'll catch you again in the not-too-distant future. Stay well. Catch you later. This is November 2, Quasimodo.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's left here. There was like Perry, there was Steve STH, Steve QIX, I think Gordon signed. Anyway, 7-3, all the best, brother. We'll get you on the flip side. This is Whiskey 2 Echo, November, Yank Me.
Yeah, I can imagine in the old sense. Anybody left around? Whiskey 4, Papa Bravo, Sierra. Level radiation like spitting. Fuel storage.
absolutely. There's no doubt about that. And, you know, a lot of people ask me about that, and Chernobyl, the closest we ever had to that design reactor was decommissioned in the United States, was decommissioned in mid-1980s.
WV1Z.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I really think you've got that chronology down, and you obviously have a little bit of experience in that area.
Up to the schoolhouse a lot back in the day, but don't get back that way too often. But I am going back to Oklahoma for my rugby club's 50th reunion in March. At least see how many of them are still alive and how many of them still have functioning livers. Ron, go ahead and pick up some more folks. We are starting to get some hospitality going. K3RO on the first Wednesday AM gathering. The holiday special, K5VR X-ray. Roger. Nice name, Roger. I don't have a D in mine, and I hope you don't in yours. And Lou, you're only the third KW1 to check in tonight, so I'm glad you're picking up the tail end of it. Anyway, I think I can maybe get 350 watts out of this, a carrier. But right now it's 3 1/4. What's your 500 do? All right. Well, I always thought those things did at least 300. Anyway, Roger. A5 Victor, Roger X-ray with Ron. Any more check-ins, please give us a call. Now, guys, you're all about the same strength. So let's get tenacious here, like you're calling Bouvet. Does it have an X-ray on the end? Well, my noise level's coming up. And since I'm vertically polarized, I get a whole lot more noise than you do, Ron. Come on, guys, call in again.
November 2, Delta Tango Sierra.
All right, the 0 Romeo. But, of course, at last, November 2, Delta Tango Sierra. It's all yours because you're just beautiful copy.
Hello, I've been listening for a while. This is Brett, N2DTS, November 2, Delta Tango Sierra in southern New Jersey, running QRP out of a new SDR called a Wolf RS998. We're doing about 20 watts carrier and about 100 watts PEP, and you guys are just booming in. Fantastic audio on the receiver of this thing. Carry on, gentlemen. All good signals here into southern New Jersey.
N2DTS. Craig, we've got a new radio. How long have you had it?
3 days.
There's nothing quite like a new radio, even if it's an old boat anchor. I actually bought a 2-meter Yaesu transceiver that I got 3 days ago. Compared to the old ones, I could never figure out how to program this thing.
Yeah, that VHF stuff is pretty tough to figure out.
It all is in the older days. Okay, thanks for checking in. 0 Radio, somewhere out west. Please call. The 0 with the radio and the call, I didn't hear you. Well, I heard a zero radio call in. Who else is out there? W2LJO. It's all yours, sir. Michael 720. What's the name? All right, George. Haven't heard him this year. But K1 RMA, who used to always check into the net with lots of boat anchors, also ran a 720. And then he put different sorts of modulators on it. It was always quite a hoot what he was doing playing with that old radio. I don't know if you've ever run into K1 RMA, but you don't see many 720 to 720 QSOs these days. No, and if it did, you'll be talking to yourselves quite a bit. Thanks for checking in, George. Have yourself a great holiday. K5 Victor, Radio X-Ray, with K3 Radio Oscar, on showing a very wonderful first Wednesday AM net. And you're right, George, it is the Collins Gathering. Listening for any more check-ins. Well, there's a lot of long skip going on there, and the heterodynes, you guys are canceling each other out. Maybe there's somebody with a little better propagation here to the East Coast, and you can turn up the wick, and I can hear you. K5 VR X-Ray is listening. And that's exactly what I was asking for, Zapman. WHZAP, are you going to have other people handle televisions for you this holiday season? Since we last chatted, I got a new knee. Still barks at me, but it's working.